Here are my top 5 NBA first-round playoff series I'm looking forward to. Mike, can I have some NBA music of some sort? All right. 5th on the list is Adam Chudwin's Chicago Bulls taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. Your defending champs are taking on a Bulls franchise back in the playoffs after a 5-year absence. The last time they won a playoff series 7 years ago. That's how long ago. And Billy Donovan's there now. DeMar DeRozan, how good did this guy look and play this year? Is it possible he can catch fire on this team that has not played very well in the second half of the season and got swept by the defending champs 4-0? Can he somehow beat the Bucks, will the Bulls to victory? I'm just going to be keen to see how that happens in that series. Bulls and Bucks are first up on my radar screen. Number 4 on the list is Jazz Mavs. Man, I hope Luka is in fact healthy. He left the finale with a calf injury that can have him out, anywhere between 3 days and 3 weeks.
3 weeks, yeah.
Whose injury was that we had recently in some sport? He's out from like 1 to... I
don't know. Yesterday when I was doing some
Carson Wentz. Remember that Carson Wentz was out?
Oh, he had both his ankles.
No, it was when his feet...
Someone with a bone in his foot
surgery.
He had to take a bone out.
He was out. He was out anywhere from... He was day to day to done for the season. It was really weird.
I was doing research on this last night because I wanted to talk about it, and it was like the average... missed time in the NBA this year for a calf strain was 16 days.
Well, Dallas, as you know, lost Tim Hardaway Jr. for the season and then traded away Porzingis for Spencer Dinwiddie.
Who's been great.
And all they've done is win 20 of their final 27 to go into this series as the team with the home court advantage over a Jazz team that lost 7 of 11. And you read that Spider's dancing that drink over here.
I thought you said you was okay, Spider.
That Spider and Gobert are not really tight, friendly, on the same page. And Quinn Snyder looks great, but he might be moving in down here in El Segundo, right?
He's definitely breaking out a suit if he comes to the Lakers.
Anyway, Jazz Mavs. I can't wait. I just love watching Luka play basketball, and let's see how this one looks. Jazz Mavs are number 4 on the list. Number 3 is my team that I picked prior to the season to win it all. Golden State Warriors. Is Steph Curry going to be back in time to take on a guy who might be back-to-back MVPs? Might have won back-to-back MVPs in the NBA this year. Jokic and the Nuggets taking on the Warriors, and hopefully Steph Curry is back for this one. What an entertaining 3-6 game seeded series this is out west. I love that one. Number 2, I'm ready for you, sir. Part of the reason why don't trade for Giannis of the Rich Eisen Show Fantasy Basketball League takes home the trophy is because not only did I draft Fred VanVleet, I picked up Gary Trent Jr. when all y'all were sleeping. And the Raptors are an incredibly fun team to watch. I've watched a ton of Raptors basketball just because of that interest level I had for fantasy. Siakam and all of these Raptors pounce on the Sixers when Embiid's not in the game. When Embiid's in the game, totally different story. But the Raptors took both games against the Sixers after the All-Star break. This will truly test the depth of the Sixers bench, which is the question going into these playoffs. How much productivity can Doc get out of that bench? Certainly when Embiid leaves the game. I can't wait to watch Sixers. And by the way, Matisse Thybulle is not vaxxed. He will not be able to play up north. And this is also, if I'm not mistaken, the buzzer-beating finish of a matchup from a couple years ago playoffs that got Mike Del Tufo to crap all over his colleague at Fox when he got compliment. Here's the reaction.
No, Rich, this is how Mike reacts to friends of his.
This was back in May of 202019.
This is Mike's reaction to friends of his.
It would be Jeff Walker.
Jeff Walker
at the Angels in the Dodgers.
One of the sweetest men in all of broadcasting.
Yeah. Because every time your friends come up, Rich, you have that look on your face like Mike had.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Mike, we love you.
Yeah, I know you do.
Mike Del Tufo shaking his head at a mention of Scott Walker having all
Jeff
three.
Walker.
Jeff Walker. My bad.
I don't know why I keep calling
the
this guy.
ball hit the rim 3 times, right?
5. It was like
3 times.
It was more than 3, I think.
Captured a lot of basketball rims this year.
Very good. Number 1. Look, we can't assume who's coming out of the play-in tournament. You just can't. But this team was seemingly destined to be the road team in the 9-10 series, meaning they would have to win not 1, but 2 games on the road to make the playoffs. And instead, they're the 7-seeded team, needing just 1 home victory over the Cavs to make the playoffs as a 7 seed. So I'm just going to assume, with all due respect to Cleveland fans, the Nets will win that play-in game, and they're the 7 seed, setting up the chef's kiss of a first-round series between the 2-seeded Celtics, despite their mid-season and their early season difficulties. They're the 2 seed after it's all said and done. And who might be coming to town but the Nets and Kyrie Irving, who's going to smudge the TD Garden before going to walk around the circumference with his sage. He's going to do some smudging, and all the Celtics fans despise him more than pretty much anybody that's on the planet right now that plays any sport anywhere, or not even anything to do with sports. And
general hate.
Just a general intense dislike. And the Nets will see what this end of the Harden trade means for them. We'll see what that end of the Harden trade means for you, which is another aspect of the Sixers Raptors series I didn't even mention. Those are my top 5 first round series.
Good job, brother.
I love it. That's great.
Thank you. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.